Okay folks, welcome back once more to The Long Dark. We are still in the basement where we left off at the end of the last video, following our little wolf encounter, which did quite a lot of damage. I suffered a lot more condition loss than I would have expected from wolf attack, but then I am in Stalker mode, so that's perhaps to be expected. But we're still down here in the basement, and we're still recovering our condition, and we're soon going to be heading back out and carrying on. Now we're in the middle of the night. I've done a little bit of sleeping just to save the game, which has pulled my condition up a little bit. But I'm now going to carry on, just do a little bit more. We're pretty well rested, to be honest, so I don't know how much sleep it's going to let me have. But we'll try a couple of hours, see how we do. Okay, very sort of fully rested. We didn't even last an hour, so we're going to have to pass time. So let's pass some time. Let's pass 5 hours. I've eaten and drank. And cancelled because we've just run out of water. Let's drink some more water. Yeah, so we've had a nice little trip over here. We finally got to that cave we were aiming for. We've also found the route up to Timberwolf Mountain, which I think we're going to go and have a tackle at some point. And we're now finding our way into the basement in the houses that we were looking for, that we got a bit lost over the last couple of videos trying to find. And yeah, we're pretty much just getting ready to head back down again. The plan is to follow the road back down, which I hope, if my memory serves me, will drop us back down near Draft Dodge's cabin, and we can use that as a stopping off point. That's certainly the plan. So we'll see how we do. I'm going to sleep for 4 hours. That should pull us through into daylight. Oh no, I passed time for such a long time there. I thought we'd get through. Okay, let's pass time for another 4 hours. So one of these where we're getting ready to head back down the hill, but we've just got to get ourselves sorted out before we can actually go anywhere. I also love how it's suddenly got lighter in here, despite the fact that there's no windows. Oh, there is a little window. Oh, there you are. That explains it then. There are a couple of little windows. Why it's suddenly got a bit lighter. Okay, so where are we? How are we doing? What's our condition like? I'm just going to sleep for a couple of hours just to get that condition up a little bit more. Condition, I would normally be fairly happy to go with the condition that I've currently got, about 65-70%. I am just a bit worried about those wolves though, because if I get hit by one of those, I'm going to be in a spot of bother. Also, I am pretty encumbered, so I just need to have a look and see if there is anything I can ditch. I'm 7 kilos over. But I do want to try not to drop anything if I can, because I've got some pretty good loot going on here. I can probably eat and drink my way out of some of the problem. So let's just do that. Let's eat these peaches. Hilariously, I'm not carrying a can opener because I forgot to bring one with me, but never mind. Okay, it's good. That gets rid of some of the weight. Are we carrying any clothes that we don't need? Probably don't need those. We can get rid of those. Worn driving gloves. Are they going to give us any kind of benefit over the gloves we're wearing? No, I think so. I don't know, actually. Okay, well, I'm actually carrying 2 pairs of these ragged wool mittens. I don't really need to be carrying those, so I'm not going to bother. These boots are quite heavy. Are they anywhere near as... No, I don't think I'm going to bother with those. Let's get rid of those. The condition's far too low on those. I know the idea of the new clothing system is you can chop and change depending on what you're doing, which is quite realistic. That's how you would work in real life, but I don't tend to do it. I just tend to stick with a loadout that I know is going to work, because I always tend to work in the same way. So, any point keeping that t-shirt? I don't know, but it's not that heavy. I think we'll try and hang on to it. The real weight I think we're carrying around is sticks. We're carrying 5 kilos worth of sticks, but I don't really want to drop this stuff if I can avoid it, because it is useful resources. So I think I'll make a go for it. We'll have a go and see if we can go with the weight that we've got without doing any reduction, and we'll just see how we go. So in the basement, we've pretty much looted this when we came in, even though we were practically disintegrating. Oh, we won't bother with that. Oh, I missed this first aid kit.
I'll take it.
Okay, we'll have the antibiotics. Won't bother with the sewing kit. We've got plenty of those. Yep, so I think we've pretty much looted this. Obviously, we've left our little drop load there. So let's head back outside and see if we can't make our journey back down the hill. Assuming I can find the door. Oh, there we go. Let's make our way back outside. the excitement of nearly being eaten by wolves at the end of the last video and only just making it in here. Hopefully we can pop out into relative safety. Albeit relative cold, though it's actually not too bad. Okay, now, I don't want to get disorientated. I think that's the way I need to go. I didn't check any of this stuff outside, obviously, because I was
This'll come in handy.
surrounded by things that were trying to eat me, so I didn't really bother. What's that? Just from the other side of here, out of curiosity. Oh, it's the patch of blood. It's the patch of blood. And also, I look like I've dropped some things. Rose hip tea I dropped. Summit soda I dropped. Oh, okay. That's interesting. So in that wolf attack, I actually dropped some of the things I was carrying. That's an interesting new dynamic. I haven't noticed that one before.
Nobody needs this anymore.
Obviously, I know I'm adding extra weight, but I'd rather take the resources than risk losing the weight. Okay, so we've got to. Oh no! Oh no! I can hear a wolf. There he is. There he is. Okay, hang on. Don't want to go toe to toe with him. I really don't want to go toe to toe with him. So I'm gonna do the chicken run. I'm going to run back into the basement. I really don't feel like going toe to toe with wolves at the moment. I don't want to lose any more of my condition. So we shall pass time down here for an hour and see if the wolf goes away. And then we'll head back outside again. Hopefully the wolf goes away. I don't know if that works, you know. I don't know whether Hinterland have tweaked that so that doing that doesn't actually make any difference. The wolf is still going to be here, but we'll find out when we get outside. Oh. Well, apparently doing that had another unwanted effect, and that is that the weather has gone really badly downhill. So I think we're actually going to wind up stuck here for a bit. I don't really want to try and do this in this kind of weather. May as well collect the rose hips while we're here. Okay, I don't really want to try travelling in this weather because that's not going to end well. So, oh dear, we're going to be stuck in this basement for a bit, I think. But at least we do have the basement. We do have somewhere that we can take shelter, so it's not a complete disaster. And we have got a few things that we can be doing. We can research this book. So let's research that for a couple of hours. That should pass some of the time. There we go. So that's researched that for 2 hours. Let's research it for another 2. Okay, the counter has changed back to 5 hours remaining. So hopefully that means that we can get outside. So obviously we've researched that, and that's going to give us again.
Man, all I can think about is food.
Well, yes, we can deal with that. That's going to give us some improvement in our skill with the firearm, with the rifle. So hopefully that means we can be slightly better at hunting. Less likely to miss. Make it a little bit easier to fire. We're running out of water as well. Okay, so we really do need to make this trip now. We need to get down to Draft Dodger's cabin, really. And then from there we'll be heading back to the farmstead. So let's get ourselves outside and hope that the weather is clearer. Yep, that's okay. And the wolf is probably still around, knowing me. Okay, now. That, I think, is the direction we came from. So that is the direction we need to be heading in, I think. Yes, that's the direction we came from. So we need to be heading this way. I'm not going to go back over there and investigate any of that, because I think I've already investigated most of it. Okay, so we're going to head this way. We've got one of these rather convenient pointy trees, which I think normally points to something. I think in this case it is pointing to a road or trail. I'm going to harvest the old man's beard. This again, when we get back to the farmstead, we'll do some housekeeping tasks and we'll sort ourselves out. So let's head back down. Oh, we've actually got a rope climb here going down. Oh, this is hilarious. Is this actually where we came up? Yeah, this is where we came up, and we popped up right by those houses, and I somehow completely missed them. So that shows the hilarity of that particular situation. Okay, so this is actually the rope climb. Now there's 2 of these. We want to go down. Luckily it's a bit faster going down than it is going up. So the fact that we're encumbered shouldn't affect us. If you're climbing up and you're encumbered, you may actually run out of energy before you get to the top, and you might fall off. So, obviously we've got to be a bit careful, but... Okay, I'm just going to give it a couple of seconds. I hope that... At least we've got a nice fast way back down, because I think this is not far from Draft Dodge's cabin, is it? This little rope climb, so at least... We are on familiar territory, we're going down the way we came up. And we're not far from Draft Dodge's cabin, so... The only problem is I can't remember whether I need to go left or right. Okay, well we're down. Let's just pop over this ridge. See if we can get ourselves orientated. Or eaten by a wolf, one or the other. Let's pick these mushrooms while we're walking past them. Again, I have started to try and harvest all of this stuff because I think it'll start to come in handy. Well, I'm not going to go back over there for those. Right. I think Draft Dodge's cabin is this way. Oh no, it's right there. There it is. Awesome, perfect. Well, we'll pick up a couple of sticks. We are pretty encumbered, but we'll pick up a couple of sticks as we go past. So far, so good. So we'll go inside Draft Dodge's cabin and we'll warm ourselves up. So now we know where we're going. This is actually quite an easy trip to make our way up. We've got so many different stages that we can do with buildings and things that we can duck into. I might as well go back and just pick these. These give us calories as well, so they come in handy as a food source. Not many, but they come in handy as a food source. We've got a rabbit hopping around, so fairly safe from predators at the moment. Temperature's actually pretty good. We are getting tired because we are encumbered. But we're just going to drop into here and have a quick warm. In fact, I can probably drop into the bed for a second and just haul some of my condition back up. Let's do that. Let's just do that for an hour. Now, we've only got 4 hours of daylight left, so if we're going to break out for the farmstead, which I'm kind of planning to do, we need to get on and do that pretty quick. Because we want to get back there before it goes dark, ideally. So let's pop outside. How's the weather looking? Not too bad. Been better, but not too bad. Okay. Well, temperature's fine. So let's make our way back this way. Again, we're looking for the river. I think probably best to go slightly up this way as we head over the hill. Okay, so heading back to the farmstead. You're going to have to forgive me, by the way, if I'm a bit blurry-eyed and a bit not quite with it, because I have been up since 3 AM this morning. It is now, I don't even know, it's nearly 2 PM. And I've been up since 3 AM because I had to take my girlfriend to the railway station this morning. She's gone off on holiday. We've packed her off on holiday with her mum. And I had to take her to the station to pick up a coach, but I had to do it at 3 AM. Which, yeah, I'm very tired. So, you'll have to forgive me if I'm not quite with it. I'm operating on a mix of chocolate and caffeine at the moment, which is not a great combination, and it's not doing my my diet plans any good. I'm going to have to get back on the old diet plan next week, I think, or later in the week. It's Bank Holiday Monday here in not so sunny Staffordshire. It's not sunny at all, or I'd be out photographing. Okay, so got a wolf over that way, but we're fine because we're going this way. Yes, not so sunny in Staffordshire today, otherwise I'd be out photographing. That's the plan for tomorrow. So we thought we'd do some... I thought I'd do some long dark today. Get this in the bag, because I've been having some major upload issues. So I have to apologise for that. Major upload problems. It just takes so long to upload one of these videos because my internet connection is not great. And upload speeds on home internet connections are not very good anyway. But mine is really bad. So unfortunately, I have some real issues uploading these videos. Each one of them is nearly 3 gig in length, in size, because it's in full HD, and it takes about 3.5 hours to upload each video. But the problem is that it grinds the internet connection to a complete standstill whilst you're doing that, so you can't do anything else. And obviously these days everything relies on having the internet, so I can only do it when I'm not in, or at night, or whatever. And it's just been a major issue because we've not really been in much recently for me to set them going. So over the last week or so, I've just had an absolute nightmare getting videos even uploaded. In some ways it will be great because we're not in, so it can run and it's not an issue, it's not going to cause any other problems, but obviously I'm not here to physically press the button to start the upload, so it's not been ideal. But to make up for it, we are doing Long Dark every single day this week. So today is going to be Thursday. It's Thursday. I've got 3 videos already keyed up as I'm filming this one on the Bank Holiday Monday, but you're going to be seeing it on the Thursday, so hopefully it's all going well with our Long Dark epic week, trying to catch back up again with what we've missed. And of course we've got Kerbal Space Program as well, which I'm really enjoying getting back into Kerbal Space Program, but obviously from a video standpoint it does take a long time to film it. I'm just thinking, do I actually need to... I think I need to stay on the river for a little bit longer. Let's get back on the river again. I think I need to stay on the river for just a bit longer. It's starting to get a bit dark. We just need to stay. We've got the ominous music playing now because we're getting near to sunset. We're going to keep going. Temperature-wise is absolutely fine. Everything's pretty good as it stands at the moment, so the only thing that's going to screw things up is if we come across a bear or a wolf or something like that. You don't tend to get down this bit of the river, so we should be okay. This is the bridge. I think this is Heartbreak Bridge, which is on the main road, so we're not very far now from the farmstead. And what we're going to do, we're going to get back to the farmstead, we're going to offload a lot of what we're carrying, we're going to do some housekeeping, we're going to sort ourselves out, and then we'll think about in the next video heading back out again and possibly looking and going somewhere else. I'm trying to decide whether to go and have a hunt for some of the prepper caches, because as always prepper caches will spawn on the map, and there's several different locations where they can spawn, and on Mystery Lake I know where most of those locations are, so you can go and look for them. And of course on previous series we did find the prepper caches, but I've never done it on Pleasant Valley. I don't know where the spawn locations are, so I'm kind of toying with the idea of trying to find the caches, but equally I am toying with the fact that to do that I am going to have to either look very carefully for them or look at a map, which I've already looked at a map for this series when I got hideously lost last time. I did look at a map to try and find my way back out again. So I don't really have a problem with doing that, but it is slightly cheating. So when it comes to looking for the caches, it's one thing when you think you know where you are and you just want to reassure yourself, but it's totally different when you really don't know where you are and you want to really go and find it.
I could eat anything.
Okay, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever spotted that barn before. So it makes me slightly worried that I may have overshot my target. I think I've overshot my target, haven't I? I have. I've completely overshot my target. I was too busy thinking about where I was going. I've actually walked straight past it. Okay, now I've got to go under Heartbreak Bridge, and then it's up. No, I'm coming from the other direction to the way I'm used to doing this, so it's actually over this side, not that side. That's what happens when you're tired, folks. You do silly things and you make mistakes. Okay, 2 hours down. If we've got this very nice red sunset going on, they really have worked a lot on the environmental look and feel of the game, and it's really nice. The graphics and the lighting effects are great, and it's nice to have a computer that can finally run games at full quality, because previously I was trying to play games when they were introducing some of these new graphical effects and HDR effects and lighting effects and things, And my computer just couldn't run them because it wasn't powerful enough, but now I have a more powerful machine. That has been cobbled together from various different bits that I've bought from various different people, second hand, due to budget constraints. But I have managed to put this this PC together for not very much, really, by just buying bits from friends. Really, is how I've done it. We've got very decent graphics, decent processor, decent memory, and I can finally get the full effect of everything, and it is pretty cool. Look at that. That's a picture. In fact, that's such a good picture. You know what I'm going to do? If I can distract myself for just a brief moment, I'm going to press the screenshot key, and we'll take a screenshot of that. That might come in handy later. That's pretty cool. And I love the music in the Long Dark as well. I'm going to get a bit carried away taking screenshots now. This is just pretty cool. Yeah. I'm loving these. I am going to get a bit carried away taking screenshots now. There we are. Oh, I'm loving this. Look at that. It's really nice. Really nice lighting effects and everything else. Anyway, I'm getting slightly distracted and there is a wolf wandering around over there. So let's get inside. We're hungry, we're encumbered, and it's getting dark. So let's get inside. So, nice little successful run up to the cave eventually. We obviously had our little wolf encounter, but other than that, we did pretty well. So, we're back here at the farmstead. Now, we have gathered a bit of food. And obviously we had our deer meat already. Now, condition of cooked meat is definitely degrading faster than it used to. So that's definitely been balanced. And it's degrading a lot faster than it used to. So that's definitely something to think about. I'm going to ditch a lot of this stuff for weight purposes, just to sort that out. And I'm going to take a little bit of water out of my water supply. So I'm carrying some water. I'm carrying a lot of fire starting materials, a lot of sticks particularly. So I'm going to drop the sticks down here. I'm going to drop them all just for now, and we'll sort that all out later. I'm also carrying some firewood, so again I'm going to drop all of that. And I'm going to drop... I used to sort fir and cedar out, but I'm not going to bother anymore because they do burn slightly differently, but it works fine, well enough for me. Right, okay, now this crate, I'm going to break it down. Simply because I want that bit of space on the floor to put... Oops, to put in my coal, which we successfully managed to collect, which will come in handy later if we do make our way to the, what's a piece of fir firewood there? I think let me drop it. Yeah, which will come in handy later when we, if we get to the forge, over on Desolation Point. Let's, oops, I didn't actually mean to do that, I meant to harvest it. So let's harvest this down into tinder plugs. It is going dark.
I will die if I don't get food soon.
No, you won't. Don't worry. Let's harvest this all into tinder plugs. We'll pick that back up and harvest it down. So just doing a bit of housekeeping now, really. We've got back from our epic voyage. We want to get our house in order. That's actually probably okay. We probably don't need to be carrying quite so many matches, though. So let's drop those cardboard matches. We don't need perhaps to be carrying quite so many. We've got plenty of them here. And we're actually doing pretty well for fire starting materials and doing pretty well for tools and equipment. But I don't know if there is any in our reserve. Oh, and of course we've got wolf pelts. Totally forgot about that. And we're carrying 2 bedrolls. So we'll drop one of those bedrolls. And that is our spare bedroll. So we'll just pop that up the corner. And we also now have a bow, which is pretty awesome. So we now have a survival bow. I know it'll let me place it there, but it's a bit unrealistic to place it there, because in real life that would just fall off. So we'll put it over here. I haven't got any arrows for it, so it's totally useless at the moment, but it's cool that we have it. And we have some lantern fuel. What I am going to do... the condition of that one's not great. Oh, it's got plenty of fuel in it. Let's just drop those 2 bits of lantern fuel. We don't need to be carrying that around just yet. It's getting a bit dark. I can't see what I'm doing. It's getting a bit dark. So I think what we'll do... doing pretty well for tools and equipment. I might rethink where I'm storing this because I'm running out of space on that table. Let's go up and sleep through the night. We'll sort out the rest of the stuff in the morning. So let's head upstairs. Sleep our way through the night, and that'll finally get our condition back all the way up to top again. In fact, I might have some clothes to get rid of. Was I still carrying any clothes that I wasn't wearing? Just have a quick... I think I might have been. Yes, I was carrying that. The t-shirt. And I think that's it. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. We'll sort all that out properly later when we head back out. But right now, let's eat, drink, and sleep. Standard practice. So let's just eat. That gives us 500. I'm going to eat 2 of these. I probably shouldn't, you know. I probably should be using my meat, which is more perishable, but I couldn't be bothered to go back downstairs for it. Okay, so let's sleep. I'm going to try and sleep for 8 hours and see how that does. See if it'll let us do that. So we sleep through the night. So we've had a fairly quiet one on this one. We've come back from our epic trip. No wolf attacks, partly because we braved Sir Robined it. And it's all been relatively straightforward, really. We've got 3 hours of darkness left, so if we just pass time for those 3 hours. And then I'll just hit the cancel button because we are going to get dehydrated. So let's just drink. And then we'll just try and sleep for 3 hours, see if it'll let us. Oh, we've actually just gone hungry, which is annoying because that's going to have caused our condition to drop slightly, but never mind. Oh no, it didn't actually. Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, I'm not going to worry too much about that. It can slowly start to drop. So conditions are all very good. We're all inside. We're into the daylight. So let's just go and carry on with our housekeeping jobs downstairs. I can't break all this.
Starving.
I won't stop whining. I can break all this down, but I need a hatchet. Hatchet is one thing that I still haven't got yet. I haven't found a hatchet, and that is a nuisance because it means I can't harvest firewood. Okay, so deer hide is curing away. 78% cured, nearly there. Gut 78, and the other piece of gut's also 78. I'm carrying a wolf pelt. I didn't harvest a gut from the wolf because I was concerned about time, so I'm not carrying that. But I've got a wolf pelt, so let's drop that over here. Start curing. Everything else is absolutely fine. We don't need to worry about any of that. I'm leaving that in here. Do I have any other equipment and things I can drop? I probably need to hang on to all of that. And I can get rid of some of that. I don't need to be carrying quite so much. So let's go to our medicine cabinet. And let us... I think I actually lost... I'm sure I had 2 of those. I may have drank one of them, but I'm sure I had 2. So I may have lost one of those completely in that little mishap. Okay, I'm going to get rid of... let's get rid of 20 of them. And let's get rid of that. And we'll hang on to that. And the stem. Okay, we don't have any bandages, so we need to make some bandages. So we can do some crafting. We can craft a bandage from the cloth that we're carrying. There we go. Can we craft another one? Yeah, let's craft another one. Oh, it actually crafts 2, so I've now got 4 bandages. Oh well, never mind. And we can, we can turn one of them into an old man's beard wound dressing, which of course comes in very handy.
So hungry.
Excellent. Now I don't think we can do the other one because we only have the one. So what we'll do, we'll hang on to those 3 bandages because we can always wrap them up. If we get some old man's beard, we can always sort it out. Okay, so we're actually now pretty good. We've got ourselves organised, everything's all sorted. There's a nice load of fire starting materials there. We've got a lot of tools, a lot of equipment. We've got a lot of lantern fuel, which is good, because that's... On past gameplay, I've always run out of lantern fuel, so it's quite good that we've got lots and lots of lantern fuel. So that's all cool. We've got 2 rifles, and we've got a bow. So we're actually looking pretty cool. The only thing we're missing is a hatchet. So I think I don't know where else we can go. There are a few derelict buildings around the map. But the problem with them is that there is nowhere for us to shelter on the way to them. So we're going to have to try and get there and get back in one trip, really, or camp outside. So we'll have a think about that. I'll have a think about whether to go to some of the derelict buildings or not. We might find hatchets there, is what I'm thinking. If not, we might kind of have a think about heading to one of the link zones to one of the other regions, possibly the link to Coastal Highway, and just see if we find anything there, and possibly even head to Coastal Highway, because I think we've explored most of the lootable areas of this map. We're not. I normally would try and hang fire a little bit longer and make sure I've built up my clothing and all of that before I try and make a big long trip like that. But you know, I think we might do that. We might head for Coastal Highway and just go and see what we can find there, because that's a good place to go and loot. So we can do that in several stages and make our way and what have you. So that might be pretty good actually. So we might have to think about that. But next time we'll just see if we can go and have a look at some of the derelict buildings. But for now, it's the end of video number 11 in the Long Dark playthrough series. We've had a good run. We've just come back from the cave. We've dodged the walls this time rather than battle with them. And we've got ourselves all sorted out. We're actually in really, really good shape. So I'm going to say thank you very much for watching as always. And I shall see you again very, very soon.